how Star Trek has fallen. This is absolutely unbelievable, as the shippers have really taken over this beloved property and absolutely destroyed it. Lower Decks is a travesty at this point. It can't even be defended. They have, in fact, turned Julian, Bashir, and Elim Garak gay in the penultimate episode of Lower Decks. And Lower Decks has been pushing just like this total woke agenda this entire time. It's been insufferable to watch, especially the last like 2 or 3 seasons. It just seems to get worse. I actually did think it was kind of cute the first couple of episodes, but man, they went so far into this nonsense. It's really, really sad. And that's why the show's getting canceled. I mean, nobody wants this crap out of Star Trek, and it's been too much. We've seen it over and over and over again. This is like the final straw because it kind of ruins Deep Space Nine. So please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things science fiction and fantasy here. I am a big fan of Star Trek, at least I used to be. And I'm so deep into it. I read all the like novel verse stuff back in the day. Let me know if you've read those because I think they're awesome. That actually like continued Deep Space Nine and the like. And didn't have gay Garak or Bashir in it. And so I'm writing my own books. I've got a bunch of science fiction, and I would love to connect with you. This is my newsletter, and I am writing a trilogy of space exploration right now, and I want to make sure that you're on the list right here so that when this book comes out, you can read it. It does honor to Star Trek like nothing you've seen. I think I have written a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm 2 books in out of the 3, and I'm going to start dropping them next year so that all 3 come out like within a space of a month of each other. So grab this. You get 3 books for doing so. So if you're a reader, this is a wonderful spot. A fantasy book, a sci-fi book, and a superhero graphic novel, because I write comics too, all for just signing up. So I appreciate you for being there, guys. Sign up for this. It's in the description below. And thank you guys so much. I really hope you'll read this trilogy when it comes out. I'm so hype about it. Like, you could tell that I could talk about it for hours. But I am going to talk about Star Trek for you because I know that's why you're here. So thank you. Smash that like and subscribe button. All right. I appreciate you. So Lower Decks has gone where bad fiction has gone before by turning beloved Deep Space Nine characters Julian, Bashir, and Elim Garak gay in the penultimate episode. And I say penultimate episode because it is ending, thank God. 1 more episode. This is it. After this, and this is what they did right before ending, just to like, I guess, honestly, I really think there's two factors involved here. One, we got the shipping culture from these strange women who have taken over everything and turned everything into some gross feminist porn. Because if you look at the way that they write YA books and they write fantasy in the book publishing industry, this is all they do. They ship people. They turn it into gay porn. It's because the women's erotic fiction is all like this, and it's very, very much a rabbit hole that's crazy to go down. And I don't suggest you do so. You can tell this is one of those people. I actually posted to X earlier today about this, and I found the writer of Lower Decks and what was going on with this Bashir thing. Sure enough, she's a strange woman, and look at how giddy she is about her like a little Garak and Bashir porn. This is exactly what they do. So Lower Decks is going to get canceled. We could see the writing's been on the wall for Star Trek for a long, long time. Here's self-discovery knows no bounds in space. Transgender Awareness Week. And this is their Discovery character. Blue hair, short. You can't make this stuff up. They, them, who lectures everybody about pronouns in Star Trek Discovery. And by the way, Star Trek Discoveries, once they started introducing this character, ratings cratered. Like, Star Trek fans don't want this. As much as they like hail themselves as like a woke group, they're really gatekeeping like the regular audience out for like this very, very niche group at this point. And it is killing their shows. I mean, Discovery's gone. They wanted that to go 7 seasons. It didn't. This is gone after 5. And they call these 5 seasons, but there's 10 episodes. I mean, it's really like 2 seasons worth of content in old days. They gave it a chance to find an audience, and it didn't because they keep going with this nonsense. And Lower Decks has done this. They've got a strong female lead character who's, of course, black and shiny and a Mary Sue and better than everybody, just like Discovery. They did this exact same thing, except this one's kind of funny and quirky, except for it's not. And, of course, they turned her into a lesbian. I think it was in Season 2 or Season 3 with this Andorian chick right here. They did this whole, like, cringy thing with it. And then they started it this week. So this week, interestingly enough, I pointed out in my article also that last week they didn't feature the main characters. They did an episode called Upper Decks, which was, of course, homaging the Lower Decks Next Generation episode, but in reverse. And they had all the Upper Decks people and not the main characters. This is 2 episodes before ending your show. And then the episode before ending your show, they still didn't have the main characters. They had these alternate universe people. This is Curzon Dax and T'Pol, and Harry Kim was in this, and like they're chasing down these fissures in reality because there's a multiverse problem going on. And at least like they do make comments on the multiverse, like the characters actually talk about how tiring and exhausting multiverses are, which it's obnoxious. And it's been done too much at this point. It's not fun. But it wasn't fun in this anyway, despite the fact that they self-reference that. But then it gets into this, and they have this whole deal with Bashir and Garak, and so this has been something fanfic women have wanted since Deep Space Nine. They pushed for this so hard back in the day, and it wasn't the case. If you look at what happened in the show, Julian Bashir was always in love with Dax, and then ended up getting Ezri. Had multiple heterosexual relationships over the course of the show. Elim Garak, of course, was with Tora Ziyal, the Cardassian gal, before she ended up getting killed. And so they definitely had their paramours, and they were women. And so this is total garbage that is influenced by, like I said, women's erotica fiction by these weirdos who have taken over mainstream publishing. And this used to be relegated to like bad fan fiction back in the day, and now it's in the actual shows. It's absolutely crazy that these people get hired. And the episode's B plot was this: these guys bicker like they're an old married couple. I mean, they make it into like the gay. We're gonna virtue signal they're gay is the entire plot of the episode. Like, they really push it so hard. And they never do this with a heterosexual relationship. Boimler, the main character, never gets into a relationship like this where he has a deep relationship with a lot of complexity and then some making out sessions. Why? Because they don't care. It's about the agenda, and it's about putting their weird erotic fantasies into this. But I also think there's a secondary reason for it, which is these companies don't know how to write good stories that actually get attention anymore. So they court controversy intentionally. Since the season finale is coming up, they do this in the one right before in order to get people's interest in the show, so they get people talking about the show, because nobody cares about Lower Decks at this point. They've already destroyed the Star Trek brand so much that they needed to get people to talk about it as like a cynical marketing ploy. And that's the other thing that I think is happening here. So we have bad fan fiction writers who are brought in, who are like intentionally a part of all this, who are really just like into their weird like pornography fiction that they read, like these bad romance novels, and they want to turn everything into that. And there's strange women who have no place writing or being around Star Trek, fake geek girls, all of them. And then on top of it, you have the producers who are like, we need a marketing boost real quick. Let's do something edgy and crazy to try to get some attention real quick, because it's really difficult to get attention in today's market. They can't just do it based on their fiction alone. They can't just do it based on anything good coming out of Star Trek. And so they do stuff like this. And we've seen it in the comics too. Heather Antos is running this Star Trek comics line. Same thing. They put out a 500th issue from IDW anniversary special or something, and they had like a Tribble lusting after Captain Kirk. It was terrible fan fiction, where like it was like dying for Captain Kirk to sit on it. It was disgusting and perverted, and that's exactly what all these weird women are at this point. And they need to just not be around Star Trek, Star Wars, or anything like that, is what it comes down to. All right, gosh, this really pisses me off. It does destroy Deep Space Nine. Now, there is one silver lining caveat behind this whole problem situation here, is that this is an alternate universe, and it is a multiverse thing. So they didn't do it with the, quote, mainline Bashir and Garak. This Garak's a doctor from another dimension, so he's basically the Bashir of the other dimension. And Bashir is actually an emergency medical hologram. So it gets even weirder. Garak's not even like having like a relationship with a real person. He's having it like with an AI. And so it's very much even creepier and weirder and grosser than one would think. But gosh, that's what they did on this sort of level, and this is something you can never unsee out of Star Trek. All right, leave a comment down below what you think about this. I appreciate you guys for being there. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to sign up for my newsletter in the description below. Get some great science fiction. And guys, I am going to be coming out with a great trilogy next year that follows up and does space exploration right. I really want you to read it, so make sure to connect with me so that you guys can get first updates on that when that comes out. I appreciate you for being great real science fiction fans who care about real fiction first. You're amazing. We'll be back soon.